A scout of the Takeda clan kneels in the tree line above a mountain road, watching a demon that does not breathe. It is the color of a storm cloud, low and flat, and it moves without legs, grinding the earth with a sound like 1,000 grindstones. He has stood in a gun line before. He knows what a firearm is. He has no word for this. That demon cannot be harmed by anything in this country. No sword, arrow, or musket ball can touch the men inside it. But let's see how it goes. So, what if a Bradley fought the samurai? Remember, this is just a 2 a.m. what-if sandbox, so the visuals and scenario might not be perfect. By 1575, Japan has been tearing itself apart for 100 years. The Sengoku, the age of the country at war. And forget the myth of the sword-purist samurai. Firearms reached Japan in 1543, off a Portuguese ship at Tanegashima. And within a generation, Japanese smiths were making matchlocks that rivaled any on Earth. That same year, 1575, at Nagashino, a warlord named Oda Nobunaga lined up ranks of gunners behind wooden palisades, as many as 3,000 by the popular telling, though careful historians say closer to 1, and broke the finest cavalry in Japan. So the enemy here already has guns, already fights with massed fire and field fortification, and is led by the most relentless, adaptive mind of the age. Hold that thought. One night, on that road, a single American M2 Bradley drops out of our century into Nobunaga's. 3 crew and 1 ledger. Write it down, because this is the scoreboard that actually matters. 900 rounds for the autocannon, 7 anti-tank missiles, about 2,000 machine gun rounds, and 1 tank of diesel, under 200 gallons. 300 miles on a smooth road, far less in the mountains, less still when the engine just idles to keep the turret turning and the night sights lit. Food and water for days, not weeks. Now the rules. Nothing comes through with it. No fuel, no parts, no bullets, ever again. No GPS. Every round it fires is gone from the world. Every mile burns fuel it can never replace. Nobunaga wins if the demon goes silent. The crew win if they can make him quit. 2 numbers. Fuel and ammo. Keep them in your head. They are the entire story. Because here's the honest matchup. In any single fight, the Bradley just wins. Its autocannon turns a charge into red mist at 2 kilometers, farther than a samurai can even see the enemy. Its thermal sights own the dark. Armor that shrugs off a musket ball makes the 3 men inside untouchable. And none of that matters, because none of it is infinite, and Japan is. Nobunaga can lose 1,000 men in a day and raise more from a country of millions. The Bradley cannot manufacture 1 more bullet, 1 more gallon, or 1 more hour of sleep for an exhausted crew. That is the fair fight. Not steel against steel. A finite machine against an endless country, with a genius keeping score. Week 1 is everything you came to see. Nobunaga, assuming this thing is either a war engine or a god, and treating both the same, tests it. A few thousand men up the road, banners high. The gunner sees them as heat ghosts before they crest the hill and opens up. The autocannon walks through the column like the finger of a god. Men who have faced arrows their whole lives have no category for death that comes from beyond eyesight, in the dark, and never misses. Charge after charge breaks. Thousands fall. By the 3rd assault, the gunner hardly aims. He just walks a line of fire along the tree line until the screaming stops, and a field of fallen banners burns in the dark. From a far ridge, Nobunaga watches 1,000 of his men die without one of them landing a single blow. He says nothing. He keeps watching. And in his tent that night, Nobunaga is not despairing. He is counting. He saw how fast it fires and that it pauses to feed itself. He saw it kill at distance but never give chase. He has spent a few hundred men to buy the only fact that matters. It is terrible, and it is running down. Ledger check, day 5. Half the cannon rounds gone. 2 missiles spent, under half a tank. The crew haven't truly slept since they arrived. The demon has killed thousands, and it is quietly dying. And inside the hull, the crew know the math better than anyone. They start choosing which charges are worth a burst and which to let break on their own. A war machine that has to ration its own firepower is already halfway beaten. Here's where the man earns his name. He stops fighting the demon and starts fighting its supply. No more mass charges in daylight. Those only throw his men at a gun that's trying to conserve. Instead, scouts by the 100, mapping where a 30-ton machine can and cannot go. And in Japan, cannot is most of the map. Mountains, rivers, and flooded rice paddies that swallow a heavy vehicle to the hull. So he funnels it onto bad ground and makes it burn its precious fuel, just clawing free. Then he comes at night, in the rain, when the sights smear and the crew is slowest. Small parties, no banners, close enough to pile burning brush on the hull, foul the tracks, crack an optic, and rob the crew of the one thing armor can't shield: sleep. He never needs to pierce it. He needs it to spend fuel, ammo, and nerve faster than it can afford. Every quiet night costs Nobunaga nothing and costs the demon a little more of its life. So it comes down to 2 clocks, and only one of them can be wound. The fuel goes first, and when the diesel dies, so does the power. The night sights go dark, the turret slows to a hand crank, and the Bradley is suddenly half blind and rooted to a single hill. Then the missiles are gone. Then the autocannon coughs dry. Ledger check, day 12. The tank is down to fumes, the last missile long spent. 3 men splitting the final canteen by the capful. What's left is a steel box holding a starving, sleepless crew, ringed by a sea of lanterns that creeps a little closer every night. Nobunaga never cracks the armor. He never has to. He just waits. One more cold night, one more burst it can't afford, one more morning the engine won't turn over. Until on some gray dawn, the Bradley simply goes quiet on its hill. Out of fuel, out of shells, out of nights to spend. And what happens to the 3 people inside that darkened hull? Killed, captured, or kept alive because a warlord decides travelers from the future are worth more breathing than dead, is the one thing the ledger can't settle. A country has outlasted the deadliest machine ever built without once piercing its armor. The rest is yours to argue. And this is where it stops being a battle and becomes the real what if. Nobunaga doesn't capture a working tank. He captures something far more dangerous: proof. Proof that steel can be shaped this way, that an engine can move a fortress, that one barrel can spit 200 times a minute. He is already the man dragging Japan toward gunpowder faster than anyone alive. Hand that mind the cold wreck, the rifled barrel, the machined gears, the idea of an armored engine, and the country that was about to seal itself shut for 2 centuries might come roaring out instead, generations early. The crew lost the war. They may have handed Oda Nobunaga the next 400 years. So you tell me, same machine, same 3 crew, same 1 tank of fuel. Could you have done better? Rationed harder, picked better ground, made Nobunaga quit before the diesel ran dry? Or does the most powerful war machine on Earth always, in the end, lose to arithmetic? And those 3 on the hill the morning the engine died, killed, captured, or talked their way into history. Best argument for either one gets pinned.